For more than 90 years, American Spaces have shared America's stories through unique physical locations worldwide.
With over 600 locations in 142 countries.
Our American centers, American corners, and binational centers may be housed in schools, libraries, or even theaters.
But one defining component never changes: the people.
We are the first point of contact that people around the world have with the United States.
And last year, more than 65 million people visited American Spaces.
American Spaces promote U.S. foreign policy by conducting strategic cultural programming that provides foreign audiences the opportunity to experience American culture, media, and technology.
By doing so, we give people around the world their first experience with the U.S., address media literacy, counter violent extremism, and promote economic stability.
The Office of American Spaces is made up of contractors, civil servants, Foreign Service generalists, and specialists.
Posted in D.C. and 23 strategic locations around the world.
We possess a wide range of skills,
come from interesting and diverse backgrounds,
provide training and guidance to the field,
and we love what we do.
American Spaces are and have always been
places where people learn and share ideas,
express their thoughts, often while learning English,
and learn about what it means to be an American and create mutual understanding.
American Spaces connect the world with the United States.
Hello everyone, welcome to Maluku News Magazine with me, Juan Sakwarela. And today we are going to talk about something special in Ambon that has been in Ambon for almost 10 years now. We are talking about American Spaces program. Well, American Spaces are the U.S. government's primary public, cultural, and information centers abroad that provide free and open access for communities worldwide interested in learning more about the United States. And now we are in TVRI studio. We have the Honorable Mr. Alfred Ball. He is the Director of the Office of American Spaces in Washington, D.C. Welcome to Ambon, to Indonesia, sir.
Juan, thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here in Ambon, in Indonesia, and at TVRI Maluku.
It's our pleasure to greet you here. And now, talking about American Spaces, can you tell us more about what is actually American Spaces and what benefits that can we get, especially for Maluku people here from American Spaces?
Absolutely, I'm happy to. So American Spaces, as you said, are all over the world. We have 600 spaces in over 140 countries, and they are our way of establishing relationships not just with countries, but with people around the world. So they are places where people here in Ambon and throughout the Maluku Islands can come to learn about the United States, to learn about U.S. higher education, to get good information about the United States, and do things like engage in programs that we hope are beneficial and useful, like STEAM programs, you know, learning about entrepreneurship, how to start a company. These are ways for Americans and Indonesians to come together and to get to know one another.
So from American Spaces, we have American Corner that is right now in the library of Patimura University. So as you say that this is open for everybody, not only for students, is it right? Yeah,
that's exactly right. And so it's great that the corner is at the university, is a part of the university, because students can really benefit, we hope, from the library, from the internet access, from all the resources, the virtual resources that are there. But as you say, it's open to the whole community. And so we hope that when people come to Ambon, that they will take advantage and come and visit us at the center, and not just to learn about the United States, but maybe to do some kind of fun project or fun engagement.
This is interesting because for more than 90 years, American Spaces has been around, and the U.S. Department of State supports some 600 American Spaces, as you said before, that are linked to nearly 170 U.S. embassies and consulates in 140 countries. Well, that's a very that's a lot of place for American Spaces. So, what face of America, or what value of America that you want to bring to share to the world, sir?
I appreciate that. What we really hope is that we know that not everybody is going to be able to travel to the United States, and not all Americans will be able to travel to Indonesia. And so we hope that American Spaces and the space here in Ambon is a way for people to experience the United States personally and directly through information, through resources, and through a team, a very impressive team of volunteers, of students at the university who know about the United States. We do English language programming, and we hope that it's a way for people to both learn about the United States and experience things that are useful to them.
Yeah, and because I was the volunteer of American Corner too. Well, I'm still is the volunteer of American Corner, and I can say I can get the benefits of American Corner. So, do you think that this is also can become the benefits for everyone who willing to learn something from American Corner, sir?
Absolutely, that's definitely the case. People who come to the corner have access to free services and information, and what we hope is that it's a first step to people having a closer relationship to the United States. It's not just about information, but it's about also saying we want to do programs that help, contribute towards solving the world's problems. We know that we have to do that together.
Yeah, and also because in American Corner or American Spaces all around the world, we usually talk about. We know that we usually talk about any issues relevant to the targeted people in the specific area. So like gender issue or gender equality, or about environmental issue, or about combating hoax and disinformation. So do you think that what is the global issue right now that should be keep talking by everybody in the, not only in American Spaces, but also for everybody in society?
So you have mentioned many of them. We want American Spaces to be a place for real dialogue and exchange, for us to learn together and to decide about how can we work together. Having the corner at the university is of course excellent because it links to a whole system of people whose focus is on research and on helping solve problems. We hope that the corner connects everyone who comes to other people in the United States who discuss these issues. The issues, everything from climate change, COVID, human rights issues, as you said, issues on gender and equality. These are issues in the United States as well. And so by having the corner be a platform for us to discuss them is also a way to support our democracies. Indonesia and America have shared values, right? We are democratic countries that are convinced about that, and we know that we need to do things to strengthen and to protect our democracies. So in working together, we hope that the corner is a positive way to bring our people together and to say we together want to work on solving these issues.
And it's interesting because, as you mentioned, that United States and also Indonesia are two big democracy countries in the world. So what value that actually you think that we can learn from each other, and what should people have, what kind of mentality that young people, especially in Indonesia or in the United States, should have in democracy country? So.
That is a wonderful question. I'm so impressed by young people in Indonesia. And I have to say I'm also impressed by young people in the United States. And I see how much in common this generation has, right? It's a generation that is very comfortable with digital platforms,
Yeah.
that's very comfortable with working in areas that my generation didn't think of, but that we also have to become comfortable with.
Yeah.
The world changes, and so
Yeah.
what we hope is that a corner is a place for many generations to come and to say, look, the world changes, we need to change with it.
Yeah.
And we hope that by providing resources, education, platforms, we are all able to do that. If I can give you a quick example, we are now very focused on esports.
Yeah.
So young people play games, right? It's popular,
Yeah.
but it's not just about the game. What I understand is that they learn through this process,
Yeah.
right? It's a process about, it's not just playing the game, it's actually saying, I'm getting skills through this game. And so we want American Spaces to be places where people can play esports because it's about values,
Yeah.
team sports, supporting one another, inclusion, valuing diversity. All of these things underpin democracy. And so by using esports, we have a way of sharing these values and actually developing them.
Yeah. So we're also talking about the technology that shared in American Spaces. So in your opinion, how important actually technology for young people or for society in today's era, sir?
I think technology is very important,
Yeah.
but I also think that we shouldn't just think about technology.
Yeah.
We need to think about reaching people in meaningful ways.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's technology. We know that, for example, in many parts of the world where Indonesia has great internet access, right? Most people have excellent access. That's not the case in many parts of the world.
Yeah.
In West Africa, where we have many American Spaces, we might be the only place where people can go to really have access to fast internet. And that also means access to good information through the internet. So we want to be a place where people can get good information, reliable information, and also critical information. That's how democracies survive, because people can make good choices based on good information.
Yeah.
And so at least we want to make sure that people have access to the technology that empowers them.
Yeah. And right now, people who watching us are not only from Maluku province, but also from North Maluku. So one question that popped up actually from many people and also students is of course about scholarship. So American Spaces also give access of information about how actually people can get scholarship and how actually they can work out to begin their research and everything to look up for the scholarship. So how to motivate people who maybe right now didn't have access of information to that to come to American Spaces and to find what they want to find. Is there?
I'm so glad you asked
Yes.
that question. It's a great
Yeah.
question. The United States has over 4,700 accredited colleges and universities, plus many more. American Spaces are places where students, through Education USA, which is our program to give access to information about U.S. higher education, where students can get information about how to study in the United States, how to identify universities that are right for them, and information about scholarships.
Yeah.
So, a scholarship is a competitive thing. People need to work hard to get a scholarship. And what we aim to do is, if a person comes to an American Space, you can get the information about the schools to apply to and where there are scholarships and what kind of scholarships there are.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you, sir. We are going to talk more about American Spaces and the benefits for many people out there, but we are going to have a break, so stay tuned with us in Maluku News Magazine.
datang di Instastory.
Inspirational Talks and Story.
Generasi muda, lebih tepatnya di bidang kesenian dan melibatkan bisa.
Akhir pekan makin seru bersama TVRI Maluku. Mendengar cerita-cerita inspiratif dari para influencer-influencer muda di Maluku.
Kehilangan bahasa berarti kan kehilangan jati diri kan sebagai orang Maluku.
Buku 2 Laksana Pelangi.
Instastory, Inspirational Talks and Stories, setiap Sabtu pukul 16.00 waktu Indonesia Timur, hanya di TVRI Maluku.
Salam jumpa kembali pemirsa di Pojok Musik.
Hadir mewarnai awal pekan Anda, deretan musisi-musisi terbaik Maluku ada di sini. Pojok Musik setiap Senin pukul 18.00 waktu Indonesia Timur, hanya di TVRI Maluku.
Teruntuk cucuku, aku Jul, calon kakekmu kelak. Bumi tidak sedang baik-baik saja di masa aku hidup di tahun 2022. Apa kabarmu di masa depan? Aku menulis surat ini di tengah rasa cemasku akan apa yang mungkin engkau alami di masa depan. Mungkin saat kamu membaca surat sederhana ini, diriku sudah tidak lagi hidup di bumi. Ini cerita bagaimana kakekmu ini menyelamatkan bumi untukmu dengan cara yang sederhana.
Hello everyone, welcome again to Maluku News Magazine with me, Juan Sakorela. And now we're talking about American spaces. And with us is Mr. Alfred Ball, the director of the Office of American Spaces in Washington, D.C. And sir, we're talking a lot about American spaces and all the advantages that people can get from it. And now American spaces in Maluku itself, now in Unpati. So in Indonesia, what kind of activity or what kind of project that usually American spaces in Indonesia in general usually do, sir?
So I'm so happy to be visiting Indonesia and to see the great work of our spaces here. We have 12 American spaces throughout Indonesia. And they vary between spaces that are directly run by the embassy or the consulates, and spaces that are based on partnerships, like the one at Unpati.
Yeah.
And so we value the partnership with Unpati very much. It's such an impressive university. I was there yesterday, and having the space there means that students have, of course, direct access as well as the public. And it means that we can do programs that hopefully benefit a wide range of people.
Yeah.
We are very focused on things that are useful to people. So information that people need that is valuable to them, right? We want to be a place where people get correct, timely, and good information. We know that misinformation is a challenge for all of society, for our country, for Indonesia, for the world, and we all need to focus on correct information. technology. We want people to have access, students and the public access to good technology so that they can, access information and also programming that's useful to them. We are focused on programs that empower people, entrepreneurship, STEMS programs, learning useful skills. So everything from, for example, how do I prepare for an interview? Because preparing for an interview for a college in the United States is hopefully something that will prepare someone for an interview for a job here in the Maluku Islands, right? It can be stuff that's useful. So how do I start a business? Entrepreneurship information. How do I do a research project? We want to be a place where people say, the United States is interested in my success, in my future. This was a valuable space for me. We don't want to just be a place where, we're saying things. We want to be a practical, real, something useful for our users and for the public.
Have you met international students in USA from Indonesia, sir? And what actually, how they're doing there, and how we can motivate young people out there to also become international student in USA, sir?
I have met so many wonderful Indonesian students in the United States, and I'm so impressed by them. I have to say I've met them all over the United States, and including in my hometown, which is Madison, Wisconsin, which is in the north. And so the winters are very cold. And one of the first things I ask students from Indonesia is, how are you doing in the cold weather? And honestly, I'm so impressed because all of them say, at first it was a little hard, but now I'm used to it. And in fact, I even like the difference. So I'm always impressed by how adaptable Indonesian students are, how resourceful, and how they really take advantage of every aspect of living in the United States. They integrate very quickly, and I think it's also because Indonesians and Americans share a lot in common, right? We have similar values and approaches to life, and I'm so happy to see Indonesians, really succeed in the United States.
And the statistics say that 40% of population in Indonesia right now is millennials and also Generation Z. So, in your opinion, what kind of what value or what kind of mentality that young people, this 40% of Indonesian population, should have, and and how American Spaces can accommodate this for them to have also these soft skills, sir?
When I see these generations, right, I look at it from my perspective, and I see creativity. I see that they don't see barriers where my generation might have said, oh, I don't know if I can do that. I think this generation says, I can do that. And what American Spaces want to do is to empower that. We want to say, if you want to, use our space for your own creativity, for your own empowerment, for your own information. That's the good energy I see in this generation, and we only want to promote that.
And about digital literacy right now, how important we can use these tools, and also how American Spaces also can promote digital literacy actually to help people to live in this new era of digitalization, sir.
So we saw in the pandemic very quickly how important digital literacy is. And we saw that our whole society had to switch, right? We all had to get used to doing things virtually. One of the things, I just met with one of our program participants who is engaged in a lot of community work, and she said that one of the things that their organization does and has done is during the pandemic was to meet with teachers and to help them to understand how to use virtual technology, Zoom, to do classes. And so even though we played a small part, right, it's her good energy, her vision, she's here from this community. The fact that she had a tie to us and to an American space, we hope very much contributed to what she's doing for the community. Because we know that everybody, we cannot ignore the digital world. And what I hope is that young people who use American Spaces and the digital resources will also help the community and people who are not comfortable using digital resources, because we know we have to help each other in this. It's not possible for people my age to say, I don't want to understand this, right? We all have to be digitally literal.
Yeah. Okay. I know this is the first time you visit Ambon, so once again, welcome to Ambon, sir, UNESCO City of Music, and I hope you enjoy the culture and also the music here in Ambon, sir. And as the closing statement, I want to ask your hope. What is your hope for people in Maluku and also in Indonesia, and what American Space, your hope for American Spaces to keep develop for helping people all around the world, sir?
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Ambon and Maluku are so beautiful.
Yeah.
I want to thank you for your welcome. I love one of the gifts I received.
Tonton from Tanimbar Islands.
It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
You know, Ambon, the way people here are clearly working together to benefit your community and to develop society in such a positive, good way is great energy for me. And I hope that our American Space here is going to keep developing in terms of its capacity, its programming, to work together with you. So my hope is that all of us together are going to use this space for programming that's useful, for information that empowers, and for making all of us together more capable to address the problems we know that we share. It's great energy for me to be here to see how you're doing it in Ambon, and I'm going to go back to Washington with a lot of ideas about how we can even deepen our cooperation. And I'm so happy that it's happening at Patimura University here in Ambon.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Alfred Bol. Thank you so much for this interview, and I hope you enjoy Ambon City and also in Indonesia. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much. My pleasure.
Yes, sir. And everyone, you can visit American Corner, part of American Spaces in Patimura University, in the library of the campus. And thank you so much for watching the interview with Mr. Alfred Bol, and we welcome you to the next Maluku News Magazine. Thank you so much.
Down A Street, off-white Lexus, driving so slow, but BK is from Texas. Me, I'm out that Bed-Stuy, home of that boy Biggie. Now I live on Billboard, and I brought my boys with me. Say what up to Tata, still sipping my top, sitting courtside, Knicks and Nets give me high five. I be spiked out, I could trip a referee. Tell by my attitude that I most definitely from.